Greetings, adventurers! We are still at the world's most boring symposium at Pericles' house, and we have to talk to Socrates. I enjoyed that, so maybe that's not as boring as the party itself.
If it isn't the one who agrees that knowledge is most important.
I think we agreed our use of that knowledge couldn't be more different.
You remember. Perhaps our conversation can continue.
You really intend to use this young destruction to avoid the point being argued?
You have been arguing a single point all night and no one has a black eye? You have my attention.
We're discussing the nature of rules. We're better to do so than here. I'll ask you the same question I asked Thrasymachos. Would you agree that the act of ruling is an art?
It is an art, as all worthy undertakings are. That is not up for argument.
Yet, medicine is for the betterment of the patient, and not the physician. Carpentry improves the building, not the builder. Then, is the art of ruling not for the betterment of the ruled rather than the ruler?
Don't be absurd!
I've seen enough of the world to know that there are no just rulers. Even Pericles is self-serving.
Is a Spartan general who brings order to his troops, thereby saving his own life, self-serving? I'm not sure that's the case.
Ruling a city and fighting in battle are different things.
By practicing the art of war, doesn't the general guarantee some of his troops a ferry ride to Hades, when a swift retreat would save all their lives?
You just said a general isn't self-serving when he brings order to his troops. Then you said he is self-serving because retreating would save the lives of his men? What are you trying to say?
I never tried to say anything.
But you just said those things.
I said the words, but I didn't say anything at all. I only attempted to gain your view on the matter.
You're wasting your time. Aspasia.
I couldn't help but notice your talent for debate. Well done.
Socrates is an interesting character.
Ah, Phoebe. Pericles has retired to the balcony already, has he? His ability to sneak off and sulk is second to none.
I can go get him, and Cassandra can help. Everyone listens when she talks.
That'll be fine. Run along. Cassandra will be right behind you. Now, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aspasia. I had to go to great lengths to cover up your work in Megaris.
I did what I had to, and I'd do it again. I make no apologies.
We do what we must to survive, and there's no shame in that. It's how you got here, how I got here. The clothes, they fit you well, I trust.
These may be the nicest clothes I've ever worn, but I feel a bit uncomfortable, to be honest.
You never really get used to them. It seems we have the attention of the entire room without a single eye being fixed on us. If you'd like to talk, do it now, and do it discreetly.
I've been searching for a woman named Mirimi, my mother. I think she may be in danger, and my search brought me here.
What clues do you have to her whereabouts?
A physician named Hippocrates may have seen her in Argos.
He's a good man. If you find a woman named Agathi there, do let her know Aspasia sends her regards. What else?
Alcibiades gave me the name of a woman in Corinth.
I'm sure he did. My dear friend, Anthusa, is the only one I know who's enjoyed a life in Corinth through legitimate means. Mostly legitimate, anyway.
That's all I have.
There is another option. In a former life, when I needed something done or someone found, I contacted a friend. An admiral of a sort.
What's his name?
Her name is Xenia. When we last spoke, she was in chaos. A word of caution. When you go to her, be on your guard. Sea life makes a monster out of most people.
Thank you, Aspasia.
When you're done, return here. Together, we will find who you're looking for. Now do me a favor and get Pericles to come down here and greet his guest.
So let's go to Pericles. Oh, sorry. I can talk more?
I'll help you however I can during your
Oh,
travels.
thanks. Let's see. We cannot get out here. Was there a staircase somewhere? No, that's his office kind of thing. How do I get up there? I think I have to climb. Oh. That is so stupid. I'm fine, thanks. Did I talk to you?
Thank you for your help, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I found the staircase though. Ah, there he is. Oh, that is nice.
Cassandra!
I didn't send for you. No matter how you've dressed for my party, Phoebe shouldn't have let you in.
Aspasia told me to come find you. She wants you to come down to the party.
She says I don't interact with our guests enough. But these parties aren't for me. Technically, you're a guest. If you join Herodotus and me, that should be enough for her, don't you think?
You really don't want to go downstairs, do you?
When your days are spent speaking in front of crowds, you begin to crave these moments of silence.
Or as silent as I let it be, at least.
Phidias was awaiting trial, but you had me get him out of Athens. I figured you, of all people, would want to follow the law.
Phidias is a very dear friend. I didn't want to risk him being found guilty. And of course, there were other threats.
So you knew?
I know he's delusional, but one day when you have a friend you'd do anything for, you'll understand.
I don't understand why you had Anaxagoras ostracized. Socrates said he was your friend.
I won't risk the lives of those close to me if there's something I can do about it.
So you did this to protect him?
Anaxagoras understood my fears. 10 years may be a long time, but at least he'll be safe.
Why send Metiochos to the fishing district if it's dangerous?
I would never have sent him into danger willingly.
It seems you have many loyal friends.
My people are important to me.
Your life is in danger.
Yes, Herodotus was saying. This cult doesn't worry me. I have my life threatened by far worse people every day. My true concern is Athens. I fear for her future.
The Spartans aren't your real concern, Pericles. The cult is coming, and they're bringing their strongest weapon.
Listen to her, Pericles.
The Spartans are immediate. A cult's threat is ambiguous.
I'm related to one of the cult members, and I believe him when he says they're coming after you.
Sound counsel to consider. I'll be sure to let my men know, regardless.
Aspasia sent me to see what's taking you so long.
Tell Aspasia I'll be right there. I suppose this is where our conversation ends. Thank you again for helping me. I hope my guests are able to help you in your search.
Time will tell.
He's still up there. Huh. So I think the party is over. The night is over. So let's see if we can get our clothes back. Oh, sorry. Can I talk to her again?
I'll help you however I can during your
Ah,
trial.
you said that already.
You look tired.
Only of conversation. I think that's the most talking I've ever done.
See? You didn't need the weapon after all. Are you leaving?
I've had enough Athenian hospitality to last me a lifetime.
You get used to it. It's nice. What are you going to do now?
I don't know what I'm going to do first.
There is a woman in Corinth I'd like to talk to.
I've heard about that place from Alcibiades. He says you don't go there to talk.
Alcibiades says a lot of things.
He sure does.
Not going to beg to come along this time?
Nope. I'm happy here. And this isn't Kefalonia. That means you'll be back.
That's very true.
Plus, I really like working for Aspasia. She says she has a mission for me.
I'll see you soon, Phoebe.
Bye, Cassandra!
Well, I understand her. I would stay in Athens too if I had the chance. So, yeah, no problem with that. That was the party of Pericles. Well, well, well. Now we have seen everything. We definitely haven't seen everything yet. For example, Socrates has a new quest for us. Oh no, not Socrates himself, but his buddy. Let's talk to him.
Cassandra! I knew you'd change your mind after turning me down. Unfortunately, love must wait a little longer.
Whatever you say.
I hate to cut our conversation short, Socrates, but I believe you've talked enough for the both of us. We must find another use for that mouth of yours.
Speak to him long enough, and you may find the smallest hint of knowledge veiled deep behind his enthusiastic advances.
A compliment and an insult in the same sentence. He truly is gifted. You've arrived at the perfect time. I have a friend named Sophanes who wants to become an Athenian citizen, but he needs a bit of help. Your help.
Let's help him.
I can't wait to hear why it's my help he needs.
Any Misthios would do, really, but you're my favorite. All you need to do is sign my friend's name on a little list.
There has to be a reason Sophanes can't sign the list himself.
Well, he would, but he isn't nearly as able as you are.
Meaning?
Meaning, you have skills he doesn't possess. He'd fail if he tried on his own.
Why Athens? Surely he's a citizen somewhere else already.
Everyone wants to be an Athenian citizen, even if they don't say so. Sophanes has a mind for politics, but can only participate as a citizen.
I didn't realize you had a list of mercenaries you favor. And I'm at the top?
Of course you are. Although, if you ask nicely, I would happily let you be on the bottom.
This sounds simple. Now tell me why it isn't.
There's this small matter that you'll have to enter the Metroon, where you're not allowed, and forge his name well enough, of course.
So he's trying to become a citizen illegally. You should have led with that.
I'll try to remember that the next time. The building you're looking for is near the Agora. Be safe.
So, Alcibiades is sober again. Ah, how did he do that? Training, I suppose. So, and now, if we look on the map, we have seen a lot. Oh, let's get rid of all those photos. So, we have seen a lot yet. Oh, there's the metro one, right? Yeah. But we haven't been on the most important part of the city, on the Athenian Acropolis. So, there's also a quest. Let's go there and grab that. And I will be very, very mad if this is a restricted area. They can't do that, right? They can't do that to us. This can't be a restricted area. I have to be able to climb the Acropolis. So we do that proper. There are the propylaea. You see it from here. This is the entrance gate to the Acropolis. And it's a very special situation at that time. We are playing at 431 BCE, which means that the Acropolis has been completely destroyed by the Persians in the Greco-Persian Wars. And we don't care about that. And Pericles, whom we met earlier, he kind of made the plans to rebuild the Acropolis, or the buildings on the Acropolis. And until that time, until the Greco-Persian Wars, the Acropolis had a very archaic outlay, because it were the archaic times before that. And yeah, the Persians, when they conquered Athens, destroyed it and burned everything down. And all the temples and all the buildings that have been there, most probably have been temples to Athena up there, or the one old temple to Athena that we also know of. And treasuries and a lot of statues, hundreds and hundreds of statues from citizens, and so on and so on. And there are the propylaea. Oh, this is so exciting. Ah, this is interesting. So, the plans to rebuild the Acropolis concerned 4 main buildings. The propylaea, the huge entrance gate that you see here, that was finished most probably in 431 when we are playing at. Then the Parthenon, which is the main building on the plateau itself. This is a huge temple to Athena Parthenos. There are discussions going on if it was a temple at all or just some huge treasury of Attica. But that's another story. And then the Archaeon and a little temple to Nike. So the Archaeon and the temple to Nike that you see here in construction, they were built in, or started to build in 421 BCE, so much later than that, in a kind of a pause of the Peloponnesian Wars that we are playing in at. So there was like a peace treaty, and during that time they started to build the Nike temple and the Archaeon that we see later. So that's funny that is already here, and kinda, yeah, well, it's kind of finished in its structure that you see here. Yeah, it shouldn't be here at all. They didn't even start it yet. But it's funny. So the propylaea, and they are not, well, there are some details that are not proper, but all in all it looks quite cool. The propylaea, there were a huge gate that leads onto that main sanctuary of Athens, so the Acropolis that kind of means just the high city, the high ground of the city. And the Acropolis itself was already settled in Mycenaean times. There was a Mycenaean palace up here.
A testament to humankind's skill and craftsmanship.
Yeah, that's kind of true, at least for the classical times. And it was, before that time, not normal to use such huge gates. Normally the propylaea of a sanctuary were just like, yeah, a normal gate in the peribolos walls. The peribolos walls, they go around the holy grounds, so the sanctuary. It's, as we saw it in Delphi, that's how it was built before that time. Now we have this huge structure that is itself built like a temple. That is pretty crazy. And here in that chamber, yeah, there are pictures here. That is kind of how it could have looked like, but there was like in that, it's not there. Okay. There was kind of like an andron, so a chamber where you have like these cleaner inside, these beds where you lie on and drink on at a symposium, the one we attended in Pericles' house. That wasn't like a Greek symposium, because you lie down and drink a lot and have heteries, and there's lots of party going on. And here, there's so many things. So this is the Athena Promachos. It's a bronze statue, a huge bronze statue. It was made by Phidias, whom we met in, I guess, 2 episodes before that. I'm not sure though. We rescued him from Athens. So he made that huge Athena statue. Promachos means the one who stands in the first rows of fighting. So here she is as a fighter in her full armor with weapons and everything. And there we have a quest. Should we grab it now? Yeah, why not? Then it's gone.
I might have a job for you. If you're as good a fighter as I've heard.
You've heard of me?
Don't let it go to your head. I hear about everything that happens in this city, Mystios.
With flattery like that, how could I possibly turn you down?
I'm not trying to flatter you. I'm trying to hire you. I need some Spartan military targets removed.
We can do that.
I'll help you if I can. Depending on what it is you need, General...
Demosthenes.
Very good.
My spies tell me the Spartans are mobilizing. What I want you to do is hamstring them. Get into their forts and remove the commanders in charge.
I guess that makes sense.
I'm thrilled you approve. You'll need to bring me the seals of the commanders you kill as proof. You'll be amply rewarded.
Those don't seem like standard Athenian tactics.
They're not. But it will work, and that's what matters. We've already lost too many Athenians to those savages using traditional warfare. The other generals disagree, but I refuse to let them destroy our chances.
What do they want to do?
They want honorable face-to-face warfare, pitting our forces directly against the Spartans. We're not going to win a contest of strength against those brutes. We need to outthink them. So, will you kill the commanders?
Sure.
All right. I'll take the job.
Good. I might not have approval to deploy our men to do this, but I'm not about to let that stop me.
What's so special about these seals?
Only elite Spartan commanders carry these seals, those in charge of entire forts. They'd all die before parting with them. So bring me the seals as proof that they're dead.
Where can I find them?
The Spartans have been making inroads into Athenian territory, taking over forts that once belonged to us. Make them pay for every inch.
What's your strategy?
Whatever it takes to protect Athenian lives and kill Spartans.
That's not what I meant. What's your personal strategy?
My career is none of your business. Know that I don't seek much. Only proper recognition of my strategic brilliance.
You've told me enough. I'll get your seals for you, General.
I always have to grin at all those famous names that we encounter in the game. Oh, this is so funny. Yeah, Google them if you want to know more. So, that's so awesome. Yeah, so these are the propylia from inside. Yeah, you see, they look like a temple front, and not like a gate. So it's an exaggerated gate. It's awesome. Oh, is there a synchronization point on top of Athena? Let's see. Huh. What would people think if you really would have done that, like climbing the Athena statue? I mean, it would be impossible. It's too unclimbable, right?
Here we are.
There is! That's funny.
A papyrus. Says it was written by Themistocles, the Athenian general.
Themistocles and Athens. As we rounded the hilltops, we could see Athens bustling below us and Athena above, matching our gaze. There she eternally mourned our suffering with dignity and grace. Okay, interesting. By the way, it is said that the gilded top of her spear was even seen from the harbor, from Piraeus. So when you came by ship to Athens, you could already see her gilded spear on the Acropolis. And I think you even can in this game. That is done pretty nicely. We have to try that. I'm not sure, but I think we saw her. Yeah, you see her head and her spearhead from everywhere. And yeah, now we have a pretty nice view on the whole Acropolis. And well, that's the Erechtheion. And it shouldn't be here yet. It was built later in 421, or around 421 it was started, and it was finished in 406 BCE. So much later than we are playing in, like 10 years later. And this is the Parthenon, so the main building of the Acropolis. And it's dedicated to Athena Parthenos. The Athena Parthenos is the cult statue that's inside, made by Phidias, and it's a gold ivory statue standing 11 meters high. So there you have the dimensions. And because of that, because of the exaggerated cult statue that was plated with gold, it is also said that it might have been only a treasury, because the gold you could just take from the statue in times of need. So it's a kind of a bank building, if you want to. Then before this period, so before the Acropolis was redesigned by Pericles, we had the archaic phase before it got destroyed by the Persians, and in that time you will have the temple of the Athena Polias, which is the city goddess. So Athens is named after Athena, as it's easily heard, Athens, Athena. So her homestead, her home temple, was built here in the middle. We call it the old Athena temple. By the way, there's so many theories about how the Athenian Acropolis looked like. Some locate the temples on different places. So what I now say is the most common theory, that the old Athena temple was located here, in between the later Parthenon and the Erechtheion, and there was the actual cult statue of Athena. So the temple where you go and pray, or where the priests go in and do their thing. And it was a an ancient wooden cult statue that was here, and there were processions celebrated that came from the city towards the Acropolis and into that temple, where the peplos, it's a gown, a dress, was put on Athena, on the cult statue. And that happened here in the old Athena temple that is now gone. It kept being used after the destruction by the Persians. Only the columns were destroyed, but the actual sanctuary, the inner part of the temple was still standing and used as a temporary temple for Athena. And by the way, the Athenians and all the other Greek cities decided after the Persian invasion, because a lot of sanctuaries got destroyed, not only the Acropolis, but everywhere the Persians passed through Greece, they destroyed the sanctuaries and cities. And so the Greeks decided after that that these destroyed sanctuaries should stay untouched and not rebuilt as memorials to that grim time. And for some time they kept it like that. Even the Acropolis wasn't rebuilt after the Persian invasion 480 BCE. So yeah, only then Pericles decided, or in the time of Pericles, it got decided that it should be rebuilt, and we are now in 431 that the Parthenon and the Propylaea are finished. They were started around 447 BCE. So in between that time, 480 and 447, there were the ruins of, for example, the old Athena temple with the old cult statue, and I don't know how it looked, but it must have looked, yeah, really, I don't know, just destroyed, and it reminded the Athenians of the war and that they finally defeated the Persians by Salamis. That's that island, I think. That might be Aegina, that might be Salamis. There. And that might be Aegina, I'm not sure. Let's have a look on the map. Yeah, that's yeah, that must be Aegina, and that must be Salamis. Yeah, Salamis, Aegina. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm talking a lot, but this is so exciting for me. I have been so many times on the Acropolis when I lived in Athens, and for an archaeologist, or for a classical archaeologist, it is one of the most impressive places to be. And we don't only say that because everybody says that, it is really like that. It's the core monument, if you wanted to have like that, of what we study. And yeah, now that I can be here only in game, it's kind of, yeah, it's touching, it's moving for me. So yeah, I beg your pardon that I take my time here. So let's have a look in the Parthenon. I hope we can enter. Please let us enter. Ooh, don't do that. We're on sacred ground. Okay. The Parthenon. There it is. This is not the main entrance, of course. The main entrance is on the east side. This is the kind of a little back room, and that was used as a treasury. And that's what you see here. There are all the donations. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were not just lying around there and you could get into and steal everything. It was most probably closed off. Should we steal that treasure? Anybody looking? I think we can. Haha, that's sort of excellent. Great. But it was rather... The gods don't need that. Right, Athena? You don't need all those treasures. I need them more than you. Oh, there you go. It was rather closed off, and it, yeah, was where all the donations were kept. So, that's the west side of the temple. And if we go round and round, oh, they put some, like, these little pergolas here. That's nice. Oh, there's the theater. That is pretty cool. It's a temporary theater, or not temporary, but still built of wood. Oh, that is so nice. By the way, if you ever visit Athens and you're on the Acropolis, that is really the point where you have the nicest views on the cities and the surroundings and the mountains. It's amazing. And we go round and round. And here, if we now turn, we're at the front of the Parthenon. There you go. Oh man, the pediments are crap. Don't believe what's in the pediments in that game. I don't know why they do that. It's the same effort to make the proper pediment as to make a wrong one, right? Why is that? I do not know. Oh, well. Well. Okay. Now we enter. And there she is. The gold ivory statue of Athena Parthenos. And there are some more statues left and right. And there is a theory that in front of her, but that would be all the way around here, there is a pool of water or oil or whatever, so that the cult statue gets mirrored in it. And it must have been a really impressive sight when you come in, and then you have the 11-meter high cult statue of Athena, and she's double in the mirror of the water and as a cult statue, and the gold and ivory would glisten a lot, right? So that was a sight to behold. Is that what you can say? I don't know. Yeah, and I even think that... Ooh, anybody looking? Let's see what she has behind her. A royal staff. Oh, that's not that impressive. Yeah, and I even think that the real Parthenon, so the proper building, is much more impressive than this in-game Parthenon. It looks crammed. And I don't know. I don't get the feeling that I get when I am standing in front of the real ruins. And by the way, you cannot enter it nowadays. It's closed off for tourists, which is good, because tourists destroy everything and try to paint their names on the columns and do stuff like that. So it's good that it's closed off. But still, I would love to enter. And the roof is gone, and walls of the cellar here are gone too. So it's not a complete temple, but even the ruins are more impressive than that. Maybe that's just, I don't know, because it's virtual and not real life architecture. But yeah. So, and there we come to the fourth building. We saw, the Parthenon, the Propylaea, and the Nike Temple, and that's the Erechtheion. That's a really special build, and as I said, it shouldn't be there yet. And it doesn't look like a proper temple at all. From that side, it actually does. So that's the east side. Here you have it. So from the east side, it looks kind of like a temple. But if you come from any other side, it doesn't look at all. It's like a conglomerate of several buildings. And that is because it was used for several purposes. There were many gods and heroes were worshipped here, like the Athena Polias. So that's the old cult statue from the old Athena temple that used to be here, that got destroyed. Is in here because the proper cult statue, that wooden one, isn't in the Parthenon. So that's also because the theory was built up that this isn't her temple at all, but just a treasury, a huge treasury for the Athenian state. Because the cult statue, the Athena Polias, that was worshipped in the processions and as a goddess, is in here. So that's her temple. And it's much smaller. You have it, Erechtheion. And it should be here. Oh, well. Kinda. So here should be the Xoanon. So that's the wooden cult statue. The old, archaic, worshipped Athena. She's here. The city goddess. Yeah. I mean, the room is proper. So this temple-like structure, that's the core of the building. It's an elongated building, but it's parted by a wall in the back here. And to go into the other room that's behind that wall, you have to go round and enter it from this side. Oop, oop. Oh, don't do that. Hey, get up there. There's a staircase. Yeah. That should be there. Here, there's another entrance, and it's just like this colonnade in front of the actual building. On here you have it on the north side, and you can enter here into the other room. And here you see a smaller room, and there is, I think, yeah, Poseidon. So Poseidon was worshipped here too. Okay. Oop. And there should be a well where he struck the ground, and then there was a salt sea. No, it's not here. Okay, never mind. And then on the south side, up here, so even this belongs to that cult building here. There were like gardens with the olive tree that belongs to Athena. And here we have something really weird for Greek architecture. This is a little porch-like thing, so you cannot enter it. I mean, there was a small entrance here. Oh, it's not there. Okay, but it's a porch-like structure, and you can only enter it from inside. So you see that the door that we saw from inside that was closed, where the Poseidon was situated, that would be the door leading to that porch. And that porch was carried, or the upper part of the porch was carried by these women. They are called caryatides. So an architectural feature that statues carry architecture. And that is not new. We saw it in Delphi too, at one of the treasuries. The Scythian treasury had these caryatides too, so women that carry architecture. But there it was used as columns, so you could walk in between and enter the building. From here it's closed off, you cannot enter it. It's like a balcony, like a porch. And that is something new. And by the way, the original statues or the original caryatides are displayed in the museum in Athens, in the Acropolis Museum. And if you ever visit Athens, I know I said that now before, but if you ever visit Athens, please visit the Acropolis Museum. It's one of the most well displayed exhibition in the world. I mean, I haven't seen all museums in the world, obviously, and there might be better museums, or, well, older ones and more honorable ones, but the Acropolis Museum is so well done and the exhibition is so awesome that you shouldn't miss it. And yeah, remember, museums are never boring. They're only as boring as the ones who go in, because all these statues and the broken parts of buildings and whatever is exhibited there, all these parts tell stories. Only thing you have to do is to listen and to look at them. We have seen everything here on the Acropolis now, and the episode is again getting very long. So apologies for that, but this... Oh, look, there's a magical musical instrument. Is that yours? Whose is that? There's a magic happening here. Oh, there's a fire up top here. I wanted to find a beautiful place to say goodbye, but here I would burn, right? So that's why I have an idea. Of course, I climb on the Parthenon. So I hope I can do that. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, that is terrible. Why did they do that? I didn't even see that before. There's a frieze all alongside the Cella building, so the main building of the temple, that shows a procession to Athena where they bring her the peplos, this gown or dress that we spoke of earlier. And it's in relief all around the temple. And it's beautiful and amazing. And here they put these weird painted squares. Come on, guys. That's ugly. Oh gosh. Why did they do that? Well, with that, we haven't done much today. I talked a lot. Apologies. But that's what that's all about, right? If you watch this series, you have to live with it. So, thank you so much for watching. Have an adventurous day and goodbye.